Hi guys! I'm making a Gothic junk journal today. If you want to see the process, stick around. You'll need an old book no longer in use, preferably one with a wide spine. We're going to take the pages out and use the cover for our journal, and the pages will be repurposed in using inside of the junk journal as ephemera. I'm just going to take these edges off to give it a little bit more smoother surface. In the next part, I'll show you how I cover it in fabric. These little flaps right here on the corners, I'm going to glue them down with Fabri-Tac, and this is perfect for binding fabrics. And it's okay if it looks a little messy, point sticking out over here, but all the corners are going to be covered with metal book corners, so it's going to hide this. In the next part, I'll show you how I finish off the interior. To bind the fabric together on the edges, I'm going to use Fabri-Tac. So now that it's covered in fabric, I'm gonna let this lay out flat and dry for a couple of hours. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get my pages ready for the signatures that I will be sewing into this journal. I'm gonna get some signatures ready that I'm going to sew inside of my Gothic journal. So what is a signature? A signature is basically this bundle of pages that you sew into your journal. And I will be doing 4 signatures in this particular journal. If you don't have double-sided paper, that's no problem at all. What you can do is take 2 single-sided sheets and glue them together from the top and the bottom. And then you have these pages that also have these nifty little pockets on the sides. You can also glue it from both sides and the bottom, and you'll have the pocket on the top. The size that I'm using for this particular journal is 8.5 by 11. I also like making cute envelopes and pockets inside of my signatures that I also sew in with my pages. And here I'm also using a plain vellum sheet that I'm going to have as a little mini page inside of it. In the next part, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the spine of my journal for sewing in these signatures. My 4 signatures are ready to be sewn in to my journal, but first I need to get my spine ready. I've got a little piece of paper here that I cut out roughly in the size of my spine. This is how I make a spine template for 4 signatures to be sewn into the journal. So first I fold it in half, and then I fold it in half again, and then I fold it in half again. Like so. Then you open it up and you've got all these lines. Now what I do is I fold it in half this way, and then I fold it again. So you're basically left with this grid. So we want an even distribution of the 4 signatures onto the spine. So we are going to plot our grid. And basically the points will be where the lines, the vertical and the horizontal lines, intersect. There's a bunch of lines going down vertically. I'm only going to make a point on every other line. So for example, this first point right here, where the lines intersect, I'll make a little dot, skip the next dot, and then go to the dot after. There's 2. Then you skip this next dot, and then you make a point at this dot right here. This will be our 3rd one. Again, skip the next dot, and then our 4th dot will be right here. This is our last point. So here we have 4 evenly distributed points. This is where our signatures are going to be placed. I'm going to do the same thing on this horizontal line. First point, skip this one. Second point, skip that one. Third, skip, and fourth. And then the final part is this one. And we're going to do the same thing. Alright, so our template is now ready, and in the next part, we're going to go ahead and poke the holes into our spine. In the last video, I showed you guys how I made the spine template for 4 signatures. Let's go ahead and sew in the pages. So I'm going to go through each of these holes again with my awl to make these holes bigger, and it's going to make sewing the pages in easier. I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of the holes. So now I'm going to place my signatures one by one and mark the points onto the signatures, and this will make it easy to sew them in. And this is where I'm going to punch the holes through. So as you can see, I lined the first signature with this first line right here. And I'm going to do the same thing with the rest of the 3 signatures. I'm going to line them up here one by one and mark where the holes are going to be. We've got the holes punched into the signature and the holes punched into the spine. Now we're ready to sew. To sew in signatures into a journal, you'll need waxed thread. This is actually a bookbinding kit that I got off of Amazon. It was $8 and it included all of these materials. So the 3 most essential things that you need is obviously a needle, an awl tool, and the waxed thread. I'm going to start by measuring out my thread. I go all the way across the signature vertically. 1, 2, 3 times. And this is a pretty comfortable length. There's so many ways to do this. This is just a method that I like doing. You're going to go in this middle hole and be sure to keep this little tail sticking out. I like to just clip it here. So the same way we went in through the middle hole, we're going to go in through the middle hole on the spine. Just like that. From here you can either go up or down. We're going to go up and find the hole at the top. I think that's it right here, hiding behind all this lace. So first go in through the spine and then go in through the signature. It just makes it a lot easier. So from here, we're going to skip the middle hole and go all the way down to the third. And from here, finally, we're going to go back into the middle point. You can take your needle off and pull your thread nice and taut and tie a knot, double knot. Most people clip the thread and trim it down. Personally, I like to tie it into a little neat bow. I think it looks cute, adds a little bit of character. I found that keeping this little bow actually makes it easier to undo the sewing and take the signature out. A couple of times I've had to do that to make a few changes to the signatures. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the other 3 remaining signatures. So I have all 4 of my signatures sewn in. Now this journal is ready to be decorated. After I do the front, I will start doing the pages on the inside. I just finished posting an 11-part tutorial series on how I made this junk journal. I hope that it was beneficial. I hope it made sense. I hope that it encourages you guys to also make journals of your own. The tutorial series includes how I attached fabric to my cover, how I sewed in my signatures, how I made the wardrobe in the front that opens, and also the little miniature black dress and hanger inside. If you have any questions at all about the process, feel free to leave a comment. I'll try my best to answer as soon as I can. And if you decide to make a junk journal, feel free to tag me. I would absolutely love to see what you make. Now I'm ready to start decorating the pages inside, and I'm super excited. Can't wait to start on it. I've also started getting together materials for the next journal that I have planned, which is a bee-themed journal. And I'm doing this for spring. Still getting materials ready, but we'll probably start work on this one, if not next week, then the week after. Hope you guys have a beautiful day and happy journaling!